Welcome to episode 2 of Local Live NJ, Somerset County's first video podcast. We cover local stories, news, and events. I'm Brian Doliner from Basking Ridge, and with me is Michelle Giordano from Bridgewater. We are powered by the Weininger Group. So joining us today, Michelle, we have a special guest, the owner of Sette, Allan Russo. He's going to be joining us a little later in the show.
Very excited to talk to him.
Yeah, but before we get to that point, we're going to cover this weekend's events and the exciting things that are coming up in our local area. So I'm going to give kind of two competing events. They're at the same time in two different libraries in the area. One's for kids and one's for adults. So at the Bernardsville Library is an adults-only magician show / comedian with Simon Mandel. He's an illusionist and weaves comedy and audience participation, mentalism into his show. So that is from 2 to 3 p.m. It's free at the Bernardsville Library. And then the other event from 2 to 3 p.m. on Super Bowl Sunday is the Raritan Valley Symphonic Band at Bridgewater Raritan High School. They are having a children's concert and an instrument petting zoo. So our concert's going to have music from Disney, The Incredibles, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Moana, and more. And then they're going to allow the kids to come up and take a passport that they'll give them, and they can touch the different instruments, meet the instrument players, musicians, and get stickers for each instrument that they visit. So those are kind of
good idea.
Yeah, those are two of the highlights. So if you have kids, head out from 2 to 3 p.m. on Sunday to Bridgewater Raritan High School. And if you don't, then go see the magician and comedian at the Bernardsville Library.
Sounds like fun.
So now if we want to hop into the news from the week.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about something that I know is very big news here in my town. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the Center of Excellence that they're building in Bridgewater right off of 202. And what it's going to include is a grocery store, a number of restaurants, a brewery, which could be kind of fun, and retail stores. But where I think the biggest issue is they are adding 400 housing units. So 400 apartments are coming. They're expecting probably that will give the school system approximately 232 new students. And I think where most people's concern is they are doing something called payment in lieu of taxes. And because of that, none of that money that they're taking as a payment instead of paying property taxes is going to go to the school system. So I know there's a big concern about, now we're going to be adding all these students, and the school system is going to have to absorb the cost of all these new students.
This sounds an awful lot like in Basking Ridge last year. We had at the quarry site, they were looking to put in a similar development. They were going to have a hotel. They were going to have townhouses, affordable housing, as well as a shopping center. And the township rose up. They had a group that was looking to stop the quarry redevelopment. And they actually convinced the local township committee to reverse plans, hold some public hearings, and then they shut it down. And just today, they released the news that a year later, they are going to put together a new committee, including people from the township, to represent the township's desires to figure out how to redevelop this site. So I'm wondering in Bridgewater whether you'll have a public outcry and how they'll address that.
It's already started. So there is a group called Preserve Bridgewater. They already have a petition that has been signed by many of the residents of town. There was supposed to be a planning board meeting this Monday night where I know a ton of people were expected to go, and it was canceled. So by the developer. So I don't know when they're going to reschedule that, but I'll make sure to let everybody know. So if they want to go hear more about it, like I said, most of the concerns that I'm hearing are people concerned about the students that it's going to bring to the schools without any extra funds going towards the schools. So
So
I
we'll
guess
have to try to get one of the members of either the township committee or definitely the citizens that are against this to join our show in a future week. So stay tuned.
Yes, they'll have to reach out to us, or I'll reach out to some of them and see if we can get them on.
The other big news of the week, maybe bigger, is that there was an adorable dog, Cody, that was the pet of the week in Bridgewater.
Puppy!
And that is Michelle's dog. So congratulations, Michelle and Cody.
Thank you. I do have one other big piece of news too. And I have it on good authority. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I do have it on good authority that the Golfsmith in Bridgewater is going to be a Trader Joe's.
So that's huge news.
I know. It would be very exciting.
There's been rumors. So if you're breaking the news that is actually a true rumor, that is awesome.
I have it on pretty good authority, but we'll see.
Cool. Well, I'm going to bring in Allan Russo now. Let's get him up. Great. Hey, Allan, how are you?
Hey, how are
Allan.
you? How you doing, Brian and Michelle? Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Allan is the owner of Sette restaurant in downtown Bernardsville. We mentioned him last week on the show that we have heard that it is probably, if not definitely, the best restaurant in the area. It's gotten ranked over the last couple of years as one of the 100 best restaurants in the country, according to Open Table, and countless other accolades. So welcome, Allan. We'd love to hear about how you got into the business, your family, what it's like living in the area and being a business owner in Bernardsville.
Yeah, so Sette, we took the space over in 2008. It took about 10 months to build out. It was a complete demolition project. I thought I knew the restaurant business prior to that, but I had no clue when it came to building a space out. So now I could officially say I think I know a thing or two more about the restaurant business. But we opened February 11th of 2009. And it's flying by. It's a small little space. We have a total of 8 tables. We could accommodate exactly 28 people at one seating. And we kind of limit it to a little bit less. I always say that the golden number is 25, and that's just to give the guest a bit more space and not having to turn the tables as frequently. So it really gives a nice leisurely night out, when dining, and we're right next to the movie theater, so it's a really unique, special place that we have here.
So, I mean, it's always interesting to hear about someone's personal backstory. I mean, can you tell a little bit about your family,
Yeah, of course.
and how you manage all of this with your family?
So, my parents own a great restaurant in Somerville called Da Filippo's. Mom's in the dining room, dad's in the back, and also now more as well in the dining room. So all my experience really comes from that restaurant. Seeing mom and dad come here from Europe. I was born in Switzerland. Seeing them go through building a business and making it successful. 32 years later, I really got a nice hands-on approach to what the restaurant business is really like. I met a great amount of people there growing up as a child. Even to now, still meeting new people. One of the interesting things is, which I really like, I always like to share this, is as you're growing up, you see customers there, and then those customers, have little children, and now those kids wind up being parents, and they're all still going there. And, that's something that we'd love to emulate here in Bernardsville as well one day, although the restaurant's a little too young still for that, being 10 years. But, a lot of times they just, people ask me, how do you manage it? The restaurant business, it's really hard, and it is. But, if you want to be successful or try to be successful in any line of work, I just think you have to just work hard at whatever you do. For me, I truly mean this. I don't consider Sette just a business. It's an extension of my home, in my opinion. and I love what I do, and that is really shown also through the experience that I witnessed from my parents still working at Filippo's. And I really think if somebody enjoys what they do, no matter how much someone throws at you work-wise, it's manageable in my opinion. So yeah, so it's definitely going well, thank goodness.
That's great. Congratulations on almost 10 years.
Yeah, February 11th, it'll be 10 years. Looking back now, I opened 3 days before Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, which I was nervous.
I can't imagine.
I was nervous, and I just hoped everything worked well. And we had a couple of hiccups that year, and not to say that we still don't, but looking back at it now, I don't necessarily think I would open up a restaurant 3 days before Valentine's Day.
That's probably a little scary, right?
Yeah, nerve-wracking, but we got through it, so that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah, you made it 10 years.
Yeah.
Let's make it for your 10th one.
Yeah, and it's flying by. You know, my wife and I, we have 4 beautiful children, little ones, and I'd spoken to Brian about this. It's just amazing. You know, the restaurant business, in that respect, is manageable when it comes to managing 4 kids all at once, 4 little ones. I tip my hat off to my wife for that, and any mom for that matter, because that's where I get flustered.
I would probably take managing the restaurant business before the 4 kids.
Yeah, and especially too, because the restaurant business is long hours, so you're not home at nights to help out with all those 4 kids.
No, I do. You know, though, Michelle, I have to say, I make it a point to see my kids at least once a day after school, and definitely once a week. I'm home for them at night. I think it's important for them.
That's
so,
nice.
Yeah, it's good for them, and it's fun for me, and you know, it's a crazy lifestyle, I guess, but it's all good. It's all good. I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's
Do you have a favorite comfort food or dish that you turn to that you would say, like, without it? I mean, for me, it's chicken parmesan. That is my favorite dish. I could eat it for lunch and dinner every day. Like, what is your food?
Love the question. So I have 2. The first is a nice dish of pasta with tomato sauce. You just can't go wrong with some fresh basil. That's my go-to. That's just what I resort to when I'm hungry. Now, my snack foods is some nice prosciutto or some Parmigiano cheese and some soppressata. You give me that, and I won't leave the table either.
You're happy.
I'm a happy man. So very simple as far as my taste is concerned. So yeah, that's it. Especially on a snowy day today, that's what I'll be having. I know later on today. So yeah. Yep.
That's so funny. Normally when it snows, my kids are always like, oh, it's snowing. Mom's going to make a big pot of sauce and meatballs, because that's what I typically do when we're snowed in.
Yep. Hey, I agree with you on that. And the chicken parm, Brian, I'm with you on that as well. You can never go wrong with that. Nope.
True.
So again, though, you know, you had mentioned, you know, a pot of sauce with some meatballs and the chicken parm. For me, that's real good food. You know, simple, done nicely. For me, that type of food, I love that. You know, it's just pure good, authentic cuisine, in my opinion. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Very cool.
So I know you were mentioning to me earlier in the week that you were reading about, like, the best. Was it pizzerias in each county?
So it was the best pizza.
Okay.
I don't know necessarily a pizzeria, but who has the best pizza in each county?
So since we have a expert when it comes to food, or a foodie, I should say, I'd love to kind of have you read that off and we can get everyone's reaction. So
this one, which, Brian, I was thinking of you when I saw it, in Somerset County. Does anybody want to take a guess who has the best pizza in Somerset County?
Who would that be?
It's close by.
Close by the restaurant, by Sette?
Yep.
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Then I would guess Nicoletta.
You got right. Nicoletta and Bernardsville,
Right,
number one in Somerset County.
So they have a very good artisanal pizza, but I'm personally a fan of like the, takeout pizza, the classic New Jersey, like no frills added pizza. And so there's a place in Harding that I'm a big fan of. I know also similar pizza, Raza in Jersey City, always gets ranked as the highest.
I think they did, yes. Yep.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise. But for me, John's Pizzeria in Jersey City was without a doubt the best one there. So.
I say today, I don't know if they got an honorable mention.
No, probably not.
No, they did not.
I'm with you, Brian, with that old school type, takeout pizza, a little on the well done side, not overly cooked, but just so you get that crunch right when you bite into the crust.
Yep.
Can never go wrong with that. I'm with you on that, and I've had Nicoletta's pizza. It's wonderful. It is very, very good as well.
Well, I was excited too that one of the runners up was Lombardi Pizza in Martinsville, which is very good.
Yep.
And what's very cool too is Lombardi has a pizza truck. So I've also been to events where people have gotten the pizza truck, which is always kind of fun. And then the other runner-up, which is another one of our favorites, which we take out from quite a bit, is Chich's. Have you ever been to Stan Chich's in Boundbrook?
Never heard.
No.
It's like a little bar. It's a little bar area, and they've got really good pizza. It's like pub pizza, but it's very good.
I'll have to check it out. I've never heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got like the red and white tablecloths and, like real old school, but it's good. It's been around forever. I know my uncle growing up, he grew up in North Plainfield and he used to go there as a kid.
So it's been around a while then.
Yeah, long time.
Okay, good. I'll have to check it out. And where did you say it was?
It's in Boundbrook.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
So now I've got two places I have to check out. I have to check out there with my son Jordan, and then I have to go with my wife to Sette to have a delicious meal without Jordan. And so follow my social media to see when I go to both of those places and the delicious food. Everyone could be jealous.
You're always more than welcome, the both of you here. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, so on that note, and then we'll let you go. What's it like being a part of the Bernardsville community? I mean, for those people that are watching on our show that maybe aren't immediately local, I think it's probably not something that they could truly understand how special Bernardsville is.
I'm honored, to be honest with you. It's a smaller town feel. The people are wonderful. Even the greater Bernardsville community. Ever since we've opened in 2009, we really felt embraced here by the residents, the locals, and also the greater area as well. And it's very comfortable. And I realized that the first year we were open, immediately, it was a snowy day. And I was used to, okay, it's snowing, the reservations will cancel, and we'll probably have to wind up closing. So I was anticipating closing for that day, whereas we just had a lot of people, we call them walk-ins, with no reservations, come in, and that just really set the tone for how the restaurant is in a local town with people that are just wonderful, that support local business, which I'm a firm believer of.
Absolutely.
Shop local. I'm a firm believer of that, and it's a great experience, hands down. I mean, 10 years later, and I wouldn't change a thing. It's really it's wonderful. The town is wonderful. I've seen the town grow in these past 10 years as well. From the shopping center district to just the amount of traffic. So it's definitely moving in the right direction, in my opinion. And again, these are all positive notes for anyone that has a business or anybody that wants to come in and just take some time and explore Bernardsville, I think they'll be really, really excited about it as well.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna flash on the bottom of the screen for anyone who's watching on our video podcast, the restaurant and your social media. You're at Sette NJ on Facebook. Your website is www.settenj, and definitely check it out. Thank you so much, Allan, for taking all of this time to meet with us and talk with us and give us a little glimpse into your life and what it's like being a business owner in Bernardsville.
I appreciate your time, Brian and Michelle. Thank you so very much. And I look forward to seeing you here. And I look forward to trying that pizza, Michelle, as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll let you know how it goes as well.
Sounds good. Thanks, Allan.
Great. So that's the end of our episode, but definitely subscribe. We are now on Apple Podcasts, so you can search for Local Live NJ and add that and subscribe to our weekly broadcast, or subscribe on Facebook, Local Live NJ. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.
See you next week, everybody. Bye.
Take care.